Hey, this is Sean with the Prepared Homestead. I want to talk to you real quick about today's project, and that was troubleshooting compost piles. Okay, so we actually got these 3 piles going again. We currently have, just from winter, doing deep bedding method, we have lots of manure straw, but we had a couple, I had 3 piles. All 3 of these piles kind of went cold on us over winter. We didn't worry about it. We had a bunch of leaves in there and things like that. So we wanted to come out here, diagnose what the problem was, and then fix it and get them going again. And I'm going to show you, it's only been about an hour and a half, but I've got these piles up to already 100 degrees. By tomorrow they'll be above 130 and they'll be back cooking again and making good compost, good life for the soil that we'll use in our gardens. Now, composting can be very basic or it can be very complex. It depends on how deep you want to get into it. On the basic side, composting consists of 4 basic principles that if you follow, you will have no issues at all. And that's simply get the carbon to nitrogen ratio correct, have the right moisture content for the pile, have proper aeration, okay, for the pile, and then basically monitor it and inoculate it in order to get all the life going in it. Okay, that's just real basic. Okay, carbon to nitrogen ratio, okay, browns, greens, all that, mix them together in the right ratios, have a good sized pile, at least 1 cubic yard, and you won't have any problems there as long as you monitor moisture, air. Okay, and it can also be very complex. Okay, you can steer these piles towards being fungal dominant, and you can steer these piles towards being bacterial dominant. All kinds of things that you can do to inoculate piles, to make them specific to areas that you want to use the compost in. Okay, compost is just another way of building soil, and you're building soil with providing organic matter to the area, but what you're really doing is providing life to the area, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, microarthropods, invertebrates, etc., etc. The whole soil food web is what you're providing to your garden areas, and that's the real key to building soil and making healthy plants. Okay, so anyway, we troubleshooted these piles and got them all going again. We had problems with them going anaerobic. We had a particular pile that last year we just piled a bunch of leaves. We didn't bother shredding up the leaves at all, and it became kind of a mat. Okay, which contributed to making the pile anaerobic. All right. So what we did is, we got it aerobic again. We got aeration, proper moisture. We balanced out the carbon and nitrogen ratio and got them kicking again. So okay, so I'm going to show you real quick. Temperatures on. Probably pick this pile here again. It's been an hour and a half or so since we fixed this pile. So it's not going to be super hot. But it should be real warm. Okay. Okay, here's a look from this side at the piles of our project today, and can't tell, but that's probably about a little over 4 feet tall. These piles will shrink a little bit, but that's good enough. That's definitely good enough to get good thermophyillic composting. All right, so let me show you my thermometer, my compost thermometer here, and it's reading right at 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the ambient temperature. So let's find a place where we can put this right as close as we can to the middle of the pile, and then we'll just watch it here for just a minute. All right, so we're over 80 and moving up pretty quick. Again, I don't expect this to be even that much above 100. Maybe at 100, maybe a little bit more. We'll see. Maybe not quite at 100, but I'm willing to bet within 24 hours we'll be at 130. Okay, so I pretty quickly got up to, looks like 90, 98 or so, and it might crawl there up to 100 degrees. But again, hour and a half, taking a cold pile that was completely cold, and now its internal temperature is 100 degrees and climbing. So I just want to talk to you real quick about our course, our upcoming course on our membership site. We've got 5 full courses already on there, and there's a couple of courses in the works already. One of those is what I call permaculture in practice, and that is, it's not that it doesn't consist of the ethics and the principles. Of course it does, and it brings them in, but it brings them in through showing you very, very practical demonstrations of how to do things. For example, composting, or making compost tea with manures, making compost tea with plants, doing those kinds of things very, very practically in step-by-step fashion, while talking about how we are utilizing these methods, techniques, and procedures to fulfill these permaculture principles, okay, our methodology of how we homestead. So check it out at thepreparedhomestead.org. You'll get all the information you need right there.